Welcome back. The Augustana football team suffered a defeat at the hands of a very good and 5th-ranked Minnesota State team this past Saturday. And although that's the 3rd loss in a row for the Vikings, there were a variety of improvements for this Augie team to take from the game. To talk a little more about that and the Viking Days matchup ahead, here's Carla Metts with head coach Jerry Olszewski.
All right, Coach, we'll drop the game to Minnesota State this past weekend, but it's a new week and an exciting week with Vikings Day just around the corner. Looking over this Minnesota State game, though, obviously a lot of positives to pull from this. Some great drives in the second quarter. Turnover margin was a little bit better in this game. Kyle Sadler connects with 3 receivers. What positives did you pull from this game?
Well, first of all, we played a good football team. You know, they're undefeated for a reason, ranked 4th or 5th in the country for a purpose. I think that our team collectively fought hard. You know, we fought for 4 quarters and made less mistakes than we'd been making, which is a positive against a good football team. Went toe-to-toe with them in a lot of ways. I think some of the positives were, I thought our defense, number one, controlled the run game very well. You know, a team that's averaging 388 on the ground, we held them to 220 some, and 380 yards overall, 350 overall offense. So I think that our defense continues to shine. I thought we tackled pretty well, missed a couple that led to some big plays and a touchdown. So those were positives without question, especially on the short down and distance. Offensively, we did move the ball, and we did score some points, and we left some on the table too. We dropped a couple balls in the end zone and didn't complete a couple of drives, but on the positive side of that, saw a lot of good things happen on all facets of the game. Blocked a punt and scored after that. So you take away from that all the positives, and you say that if we play like that, you know, for 6 games, you know, we have a better record, and that's the goal, is improvement at the halfway point in the season. Of looking at that next opportunity and making sure we're the best version of ourselves next week.
Some things to maybe learn from, too. Your run game has been really great this season. But in this game, they kept you to under 50 yards on the ground. What was it? Just what they were doing? Is it more that you just had more pass plays in this game? What was that?
A couple things. Number one, they're a really good run defense, and they're one of the top in the nation right now. So that's one of their strengths. So as many guys as there was in the box, they're committing that 8th guy to the box pretty steady. 7 or 8 guys in the box. So that's why we had some success throwing the ball down the field too. You can't defend everything, and for us, we have to take what teams are giving us. And they were pretty intent on saying you're not going to run the football. With that said, we stayed about as balanced as we could and passed the ball better on Saturday. So it's a combination of things. Really good defense against the run and our opportunity to throw the ball against their fronts.
Yeah, defense obviously been the strength this year. Kirby Ora leading again with 13 tackles, 2 sacks in this game. Just what else can you say just as the season has progressed about his leadership on this defense team? There's
not a whole lot to say. You know, you get everything of Kirby, and I think he's a dynamic football player. He's also an incredible leader because he leads by example. He doesn't expect a single player to do anything that he's not willing to do himself, and he leads with integrity and hard play. And I just love him, you know, and he's kind of the staple of our defense. That's just our mantra, and the guys follow him. And I think across the board, I thought John Waters played really well at middle linebacker, and we did some really good things up front as well. But Kirby kind of sets the stage and is sort of the pulse of the defense. So I look forward to him continuing to shine and our defense continuing to excel.
Yeah, absolutely. And this weekend now you face Southwest Minnesota State, who has the same record right now. It was actually Wayne State that held them. They didn't get in the end zone in this game. They had put up, 2 field goals. What do you think your defense can capitalize on that as well in this game?
We sure hope so. You know, that's the plan every week, is to keep people out of the end zone, and I think we got the guys to do it. Wayne played well in watching the tape. It took away some opportunities that may have been on a shorter field and really played well in that game. So, yeah, I think we're capable. Yeah, that's the expectation, and that's always going to be the expectation. Our kids are excited. You know, again, we're press and reset on the midway point in the season, and you can't control the past, but you have everything to do with the future. And that's going to have a large part to do with how well our defensive plays. Creating shorter fields, you know, flipping the field at times so that we get better scoring opportunities.
Let's talk a little bit before we close out today, just a little bit about the weapons that Southwest Minnesota State has. Blake Gimble, we mentioned him off camera. Don't really know his situation as far as injuries concerned, but they've also got 2 really good running backs in Ashanti Payne and Max Simmons. Which one, how do you prepare for these guys?
The same way.
Yeah.
You know, you really do. Same guys from last year. They were injured a little bit last year towards the end of the year when we played them, but we don't really necessarily change game plans per se for an individual, because especially like we do when there's a two-back set that they have really the same strengths, maybe a little bit of difference. We just have to play sound football, eliminate gaps, make them do things they don't want to do, and put them in uncomfortable downs, win the early downs, and create a defensive advantage by down and distance. So for a singular player, defend the run. Defend the scheme first, and then we'll worry about who has the ball in their hands, because we don't control that. We don't control who's in the game. Are they powerful? Yes. Are they fast? Yes. Are they good football players? Yes. So really it's about eliminating gaps, making sure that we play sound, and then tackle well. And if we accomplish those things, it really doesn't matter who's in the backfield. It's more about, did we do our part.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks so much for your time, and good luck this weekend. We'll see you next week.
Thank you so much,
right,
Carla.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, Carla. That Viking Days game against Southwest Minnesota State kicks off at 1 p.m. this Saturday from Kirkaby Over Stadium. Next on Midco Sports tonight, hear from South Dakota State's Associate Athletic Director of Media, Tyler Merriam. And later we catch up with Mark Pryor and the UND volleyball team. We'll be right back.